live from not my dining room kitchen. So we are going to have a shorter news broadcast this week. We still actually need a name for the news broadcast, so please send those my way. Because of Youth Sunday being this Sunday, we're going to take a break from the news broadcast so that we can focus our energy into making sure that Youth Sunday is the best it possibly can be. But here's still an interview from Kate, our temporary associate pastor, about Mother's Day. Today on our Not Named So Far news show, we have Kate. She's our temporary associate pastor. Kate, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm glad the sun is shining and thinking about getting out this afternoon with the dog.
Oh, yeah? So how far do you walk with your dog? And what is your dog's name, by the way, for everyone viewing at home?
I have a little blonde dog who looks like a golden retriever, and her name is Melly. She's not a golden retriever because she's only about 25 or 30 pounds, which is good because we have a small house. And in the mornings, we walk about 1.5 miles. And in the afternoons, because the kids go with me, we walk about 1 mile because they don't want to walk farther than that. But it's good to get out in the sunshine.
Trust me, especially after the winter we had, it's good that the sun is shining. Like being stuck in home, and if it was miserable weather, it would be so bad.
I know. Can you imagine if we'd been quarantined in the midst of all that wet rain we had all winter?
I think that we would need a new director of ministries because I would have gone insane. All right. So do you have a couple of minutes for us to ask you some questions so that we can know who you are?
I do.
All right. So you've been our temporary pastor for how long?
Since November. I started at the beginning of November.
Okay. And so what has been your favorite part of ministry so far?
I think the people at Central are awesome, and I have so enjoyed getting to know folks and meeting new people and the great big hearts that are a part of this church. And I had no idea how interconnected the congregation was. We have lots of big families, and that's really cool too. Cousins and grandparents, and that's really great.
Oh, yeah. And so what are some things that also keep you motivated and moving as a pastor? Because it's not just currently right now sitting in front of a screen and preaching. So what keeps you moving and going?
Still the people, right? Like I have phone calls and Zoom calls, going all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Stuff like this and conversations with people. People energy is the thing that gives me energy. I will say it's a lot harder on the other side of a screen or a phone than it is face to face, but it helps. It certainly helps keep me motivated. So that's great.
Yeah, I completely understand. And so what is something you want the congregation to know, or what do you want them to think about during this time of pandemonium?
I like pandemonium. I think, one of the things that I was doing when we first started staying at home was when I would walk the dog in the morning, I walk her every morning, is the things I was paying attention to. And it was March. And so the earth was waking up. And so I started, and there was a tree that I noticed on our walk. And at the beginning of this, it had no leaves, and now it's got full leaves and it's big and shady. And so I think the thing that's helped me is how is nature changing and what are the things I'm noticing and paying attention to? And that helps me stay present because it's really hard to sort of look really far down the road and be like, oh my gosh, when is this going to end? What's going to happen next? And sort of paying attention to the things that are happening now makes a big difference in terms of staying present and paying attention. And that helps me a lot.
And you kind of been doing a series on your Facebook about that, right?
I did for a while. I need to probably get back into that. I got a little off. But every day or two, I was posting something I was paying attention to. And then when we got to Holy Week and everything was so busy, I sort of let that slack. It's probably time to pick it back up again.
Hey, welcome to the new normal. And then hopefully we're going to get to a different normal very soon.
Right.
So we have Mother's Day that is coming up real soon, like at the
Oh
end of
my
this
goodness.
week. So what are some of the things you're expecting from Mother's Day this time?
I don't know what to expect from Mother's Day this time. Usually we go out to a big lunch with my parents. So my mom and I get to celebrate our Mother's Days
Mm.
together, which is fun. And of course, that's not going to happen this year. So we'll have to see what that looks like. Sometimes the kids make me breakfast in bed, and sometimes that's more successful than others. Um, they're good about cards and they're good about sometimes flowers, sometimes balloons. We don't do a lot of big gifts, but so we'll see what that looks like. I think it's going to be pretty different than it's been in years past, but lots of time together, so that'll be great. Hopefully some outside stuff. Hopefully the weather will be good and we'll get to take a big walk as a family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good too.
All right. Growing up, how did you celebrate Mother's Day with your mom?
I was really good about we tried to do breakfast in bed, also some years more successful than others. I remember one year right after we'd gotten a microwave, we had this big microwave that took up half the counter. And I found a recipe for scrambled eggs in a microwave. Just as a note, eggs in a microwave is not a good idea because they come out rubbery.
I was thinking more like the egg is going to be everywhere in the microwave except where you wanted to
No,
be.
you have to. I mean, you have to store them up. You can't just put an egg in a microwave because they will explode. But you have to
Hey,
sort
please
of
don't try
let
that at home. Please do not put an egg in a microwave.
please do not put the egg in the microwave. But it was better than turning on the stove that had an open flame. So I thought that the microwave would be safer. It was safer. It just wasn't tasty. So.
Right. Cool. And so what has been like your best Mother's Day memory and why?
Well, when my daughter, who is now 17, she was just 2 months old for my very first Mother's Day. And so that's a pretty special memory, your very first Mother's Day. And so she was pretty tiny and we were able to go out. I think we were able to go out to lunch. It was a long time ago. It's kind of fuzzy. And it was nice. There were flowers and because she was so tiny, I got lots of attention when we went out to lunch. Well, we got lots of attention because she was tiny and in her carrier. So that was kind of a fun thing for people to fuss over my new baby.
Great. Well, is there any like final words you want to give to our children, our youth on how to celebrate the mothers in their life? And it doesn't necessarily have to be like their biological mother, because we know that it could be people who have had motherly tendencies and stuff like that.
Absolutely. We have people who mother us in lots of different kinds of ways. And I think one of my favorite things and favorite collections are homemade cards that my kids have made me over the years. I have them all in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a really great thing. And it's really fun to go back and see them and look at, the stuff that when they were first learning to write their names and when they were first learning to write, I love you and that kind of stuff. Those are really great memories for me. So that's a great thing for kids to do for all those people who mother them in their lives.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for sharing with us. And thank you for being part of the Not Named show. We're still looking for names and creative suggestions. So please send them my way. All right. So we're going to take this show back to the studio. Thank you very much, Kate.
Thanks. Bye.
Back. And with that as well, that is the rest of our show. Once again, please tune in to Youth Sunday this upcoming Sunday. Invite your friends, invite your family, and have them focusing in on what's going on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. This is Christian signing out, who's not wearing a suit, sweatpants, and tie. All right. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.